What's up, guys? Alright, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna jack up the car, put it on all fours, take off the wheels, and we'll start with the front brakes and get the old rotors off. I also got Stop Tech rotors all around with Stop Tech brake pads and Stop Tech brake lines. So we'll go ahead and get the wheels off and then show you what we got. I got the wheels, tires off, car's up on jack stands, as you can see. So with the Balladesports calipers, I'm also going to be installing Stop Tech rotors all around and Stop Tech brake lines, and as long as brake pads. So this is what I got. The front rotors from Stop Tech drilled and slotted, as you can see, as well as the rear rotors drilled and slotted. Stop Tech Street Performance brake pads, front and rear, as well as Stop Tech brake lines. So we're going to go ahead and start removing the OEM caliper, rotor, and the brake line. Alright, so I got the caliper bolts off, which are 17mm bolts. They go right here, and there's one up top. See that hole right there? I got the brake line, OEM brake line loose. This banjo bolt is a 14mm, which is this guy right here. There's two washers, one on each end. This is a 12mm bolt that holds the brake line to the knuckle. And then since I have the HKS suspension, my brake line was also bolted to the strut here. And to get the brake line off the hard line, you want to use a 10mm flare nut wrench, which looks like this here. See how it's open? It allows you to put the wrench over the line and then onto the nut to loosen that. And then lastly, there's a kind of like a C-clip here that holds the brake line onto the frame, and I use some channel locks to just pull it out, and then it allows you to wiggle this brake line out, and I'm going to remove the line. So this can get a little messy with brake fluid getting everywhere, but just make sure you got some rags or a pan just like I do, and some brake clean it up. So now the caliper is able to be removed, and we're going to work on the rotor. Alright, so I got the caliper off. Now I'm going to work on the rotor. A couple hits. As you can see. And the screw comes off. And make sure you don't lose these, because you're going to reuse them on the new rotors. Same thing for this screw. Alright, it came off pretty easy. Set your impact driver aside as well as your hammer, and then see, now the rotor is just able to come off. Oh, and just a reminder, folks, wear your safety glasses. Alright, so I'm going to have to cut out a little bit of this heat shield or backing plate for the caliper to hit. It looks like I'm going to start with cutting this. I do cut the backing plate a little bit more. So as you can see, I just cut a little more off just so I don't have any interference when I bolt everything up. Same down here at the bottom. I got the caliper bolts in just to test fit, make sure there's clearance. So I got the caliper bolted up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the StopTech brake line on, which is this. Comes with a new banjo bolt and 2 new copper washers. Just make sure that one washer goes onto the bolt like this, and then put it through the line, and then the other washer goes on top before you screw it down. So it's going to be like that. And install this back onto the frame of the car just like you removed the OEM one. Alright, so I got the brake line on, everything back to where the OEM bolts went. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the brake pads. This is a 5mm Allen and a 10mm, and loosen these and pull these pins out to put the brake pads in. Alright, so we got the driver's side caliper on, brake pads installed. Test fitted the wheel and my wheel's clear. The caliper, I got plenty of space, so pretty much you're going to repeat on the passenger side.
Good morning.